It looks like Trey Songz is finally going to be thrown in jail forever, as he has been getting exposed for mistreating and SAing countless women, with some people even comparing him to R. Kelly. And this is not the first time it has happened, because he mistreated Keke Palmer as well. Keke Palmer has accused him for trying to silence her after violating her in his house, and she believes that a man like Trey needs to be in jail.
Sexual intimidation, I feel as a female, often I'm put in situations where sometimes males will use their masculinity, their sexuality to taunt you.
After years of accusations from fans about Trey SAing multiple women, it looks like fans are now ready to separate the art from the artist and truly cancel Trey for being a disgusting human being. But see, these allegations have been following Trey since 2013, when one of his side pieces, Savannah Waldrop, accused him of forcing her to have an abortion and locking her up in a car for hours against her will. Savannah claimed Trey asked to see her phone so he could delete their texts, but when she refused, he tied her up in her car for over 2 hours and punched her in the ribs. He later gave her $25K as hush money so she wouldn't air out what he did to her. Savannah said, "I drove to see him with a friend. I opened the passenger door of his car and he threw around $6,000 across the seat. He said, 'Now let me see your phone so we can delete all the texts between us.' I said no. That's when he grabbed me by my throat, pulled me into his car and drove off." She continued, "He was screaming and saying no one was ever going to see me again. He broke my phone and threw my license and credit cards out the window. He punched me in the ribs, locked the door, and wouldn't let me out." Even the singer Bibi Rexha opened up about the time Trey cornered her in a pool house and tried to make out with her without her consent. Bibi also said she was left traumatized after that and she feels unsafe, revealing more details about what Trey really did to her.
I went to my lawyer's wedding and Trey Songz was there with his date. He's giving me the eye all night and I was like, okay, what's going on? This is weird. I go to the pool house and he literally is at the door and pushes me against the wall and puts his lips on my lips and is like, "Let's do this." And I said, no, I'm not trying to do this right now. He was, "I was playing anyway." Something else happened, but I'm not gonna say that. But
unfortunately, Bibi's story was immediately pushed under the rug and everyone went right back to blasting his music and supporting him. It wasn't up until 2017 when Keke Palmer set the internet on fire by accusing Trey of intimidating her while she was drunk. She also said Trey forced her into appearing in a music video for his song Pick Up the Phone. She said, "This was not approved. You cannot use someone's likeness without their approval. Case in point of female disrespect in the industry." Keke blasted Trey more on Instagram when she revealed that she hid in a closet because she was scared of what Trey would do to her if he found her. She said, "After you found me in a closet hiding because I was so afraid of any more conflict, literally, my last option was to hide because you all would not listen when I said I did not want to be in the video the first time."
You guys, I'm honestly so upset and so livid that Trey Songz put me in his artist's video because I told him I didn't want to be in that goddamn video. In the right mind, I'm under the influence, and I don't feel like it's fair that I'm having to deal with this right now.
After Keke's allegations started to go viral on social media, Trey tried to do some damage control by gaslighting her and straight up accusing her of making everything up for clout. In a series of tweets, Trey said, "Baby girl bugging, point blank period. Got my number, coulda called, saw the cameras and the lights, heard action." He followed it up with another insensitive tweet that read, "I don't do this Twitter-ish, girl you know me and got my number, F out of here." But Keke was far from letting up either. She went on a media campaign to expose Trey for being a creep during her appearance on the Larry King Show.
What did you mean by sexual intimidation?
I mean, just that. I feel as a female, often I'm put in situations where sometimes males will use their masculinity, their sexuality to taunt you. I hate to have to bring and say that and make it known, but I mean, look, I ain't the first person that's gone through. People have gone through this all the time. It would be like you going to a party where the biggest jock is there, and the whole time he's like, you can get screwed, you can get this, you can get that. You ain't no little girl no more.
And just like that, Keke opened the gate for more women to come out of the dark and speak their truth about the trauma Trey put them through. One of the stories to get major media coverage was that of Andrea Boera, who exposed him for being aggressive towards her at a party. According to Andrea, Trey went crazy after seeing her talk to another man. She claimed he called her names, choked her, and repeatedly punched her in the face and threw threw her phone off a cliff. Andrea also revealed that the only stopped because one of Trey's bodyguards intervened. She suffered bruises in her jaw, shoulders, legs, and a nasty swollen eye, which was shut closed from all the punches she received. She sued Trey for her medical expenses. He even turned himself into the police, but the case was eventually thrown out of court for insufficient evidence. But just like Keke, she did not hold back from speaking her truth. She said during a press conference that she knows she's not his first victim, but hopes she would be his last.
I want you to get help, and although I'm not your first victim, I'd like to be your last.
But it seems like Trey did not learn anything from that situation, because in 2020, he was sued again for $10 million by an anonymous woman who accused him of SA. According to the woman, Trey placed his hand under her dress without her consent and attempted to insert his fingers into her without her consent or permission. But just like all the other lawsuits filed against him, this one was also dropped, leading many people to believe that they settled it out of court. And just a month after this, he was in the news again for a lawsuit detailing the time he SA'd another woman, resulting in her being hospitalized with severe tearing. Just like the previous case, this woman also decided to remain anonymous, but for the sake of the court proceedings, she was given the alias Jane Doe. According to Jane, everything took place at a party in 2016. Jane claimed that while she and Trey were on their way upstairs to do the nasty, he kept asking if he could get that butt, but she repeatedly said no. Trey still ignored her answer and got violent upon her arrival in the bedroom. After this very traumatic incident, Jane ran out of there and went to the hospital. The allegations only got worse for him when he was accused again by Instagram model Selena Powell. She revealed how Trey was aggressive towards her and threw her phone off of a balcony. Wow, woke up to this trending. For 2 years now, I tried to block this off, but let's talk. April 6th, Trey Songz, you forced me to do something and threw my phone off the balcony. Refused to let me and another younger girl go. I'm used to being treated like crap. Selena later opened up about the incident more during a candid interview with No Jumper just a few months ago.
Trey Songz. He admitted to it basically too. I never posted the police report. I feel like he did it for a spite reason, because he also threw my phone off the balcony and did a bunch of other he took our phones. He would not let us leave. Literally would not let us leave for a whole entire day.
So you
we
go
were
to
stuck at his house. He locked me in the bathroom. That's when what happened. And
Selena later appeared on the same show with her friend Eliza, and even more disturbing information was revealed.
Okay, so I go to the bathroom to wipe the nut off my face, in between rounds. He follows me in there. He's get in the bathtub. I'm okay. So I do, and I'm laying down. He's standing over me jacking off, and he's play with your pussy. I'm okay. So I do, and then he's play with your tits. So I do, and then he literally just peed on me like that, and I was what the fuck on my eyelashes? And he's you're fine, and I was
And with all these new allegations, sources close to Keke are now saying she hopes people wakes up and finally support the victim so Trey can be thrown in jail for good. She is highly disgusted by him and is shocked he's still roaming around scot-free. In a recent interview with People magazine, Keke said, when all that stuff went down, people kept saying, oh, well, why did she do this? Well, because I thought I could trust this person, and that's the unfortunate thing. Being a woman is darn, the biggest mistake you can make is trusting somebody. Darn, I just shouldn't have trusted someone. I wish there was more I could do, but it seems like we can't even really expect for people to respect our boundaries. And a few people in the industry have also come forward to support Keke and all the other victims, like the host of the Joe Budden podcast, Rory Mao, who said Trey is more disgusting than R. Kelly.
Years, however the long it's gonna be, that Trey Songz doc is gonna be crazier than the R. Kelly one. Trey Songz is the most nasty, abusive, beats the out of women. He is the scum of the earth. If you ever thought you could surpass an R. Kelly doc, I promise you in 15 years, Trey Songz, his doc will. He's an awful human being. And somebody is gonna knock him the out. This isn't one story. This is personal that I know with, I'm not even exaggerating, close to 15 to 20 women, all with the exact same experience that I know not to be liars at all. I'm not talking about the charges that he was charged with. I'm talking about my personal experience with women that I know personally. He's a awful human being.
Some fans also rallied behind Keke and demanded for him to be put in jail for his actions. Like this person who said, "I believed Keke Palmer the moment she spoke out against him. She has nothing to gain from speaking out about this, and on top of that, she's always been a stand-up individual. There has been something at this. I'm surprised he's not locked up in jail yet." But now I want to know your thoughts. Do you think Trey is going to be thrown in jail anytime soon, or he'll just keep getting away with it? Let me know in the comments section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.